Never mind.
Welcome and thank you for joining us. Now, as usual, Professor always has something going on. I screwed up again. I'm old. Just look past me. But let me introduce you to the ladies of WSN's Ladies Watch Along. Go for it, ladies.
Hey guys, how are y'all doing tonight on this Monday evening? We've got Mona. Hey Mona girl, what's up?
Um,
What's up Tracy?
Not much. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. How's the book coming?
It's going good. Can't wait to finish it.
Good. And we have a special treat for you tonight, guys. While we're waiting on our other host Jamie and our special guest to come in, we have what?
I think she's here.
Oh, she's there. Hi Jennifer. That is our special
Hi.
guest. Oh, we kind of flubbed that one, but that's all right. How are you tonight, Jennifer?
I'm doing fine. How are y'all?
We're doing great. So we will start this awkward beginning with a little Q&A with you, Jennifer, or with you, Carmela. How does that work?
That's fine. Fine with me.
We did not get a chance to introduce this wonderful lady that has made a bench or her footprint on the wrestling world. And Carmela, I will let you take it over and introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Carmela. I have a very long name because people know me from different things. I've been involved in professional wrestling since I was 6 years old. I am now
Wow.
68, and I have 62 years experience. When I was 6 years old, my parents were involved. They were in the back all the time. They were friends with all the wrestlers and everything. And as I was telling the ladies earlier, back then when wrestling was real, okay, there was no wrestling schools, nothing like that. They had to learn in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And in the area, there was no, like, you couldn't just call a hotel. Nobody had agents. It wasn't like that. A lot of them slept in their cars. A lot of them ate out of
Cars?
cans, and they, yeah, they just shared together. And they had families that they had to take care of. But back then, we're talking a main event might have gotten $100 for the night. That is ridiculous. But yeah, that's what it was like. If you were a newcomer, maybe you got $10, $25, maybe. So this was a difficult time. My mom and dad were there all the time, and my mom and dad could speak to a lot of these wrestlers. At the time, there was a lot of Italian culture. So my mom and dad spoke Italian, and the wrestlers used to come to my house instead of going to hotels and things like that. They came to my house. They stayed overnight, or they stayed for the week or whatever. They ate and whatever at our house, and we had a great time. And that's how we got to know who they were. And I was saying when my mom passed away, I was only 20. I lost my whole family by the time I was 21. So when I was 20, my mom passed away, and I just took over and started cooking and started doing everything like with them. And then it's a very long story, but then at some point I started to become a podcaster, not a podcaster, a radio host. I hosted in Philadelphia. It was called Wrestling Radio back then. I was the first woman in the world to have a talk show on the radio about professional wrestling in the
That's
80s.
what I'm talking about.
It was good. It was good. We got all kinds of
That's
people. It
cool.
was great. Yeah, we had fun. And then I started promoting shows and booking and, doing things like that as time went on. Again, all this time that passed, they still, to this day, they still come over. The older guys, of course,
Right.
come over. I'm very friendly with a lot of them still today. I have connections to some of the current wrestlers, not as much as I'd like, but I have some. And I decided, one day I have so many tapes of my old show. Somebody actually said to me, "Why don't you do a podcast?" And I was like, "Really? I think I'm too old to do a podcast." And they're like, "No, give it a shot." So I did, and we just did our 121st show
Oh my
last
gosh,
week. Yeah,
congratulations,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Carmela.
Yeah, so we're doing. We love it. We love it. Um, Thank you. So, in a nutshell, that's my story. Like I said, it's a very long story. As I was telling Megan earlier, When I got older, I started dating the wrestlers. It wasn't just cooking dinner anymore. And I was saying I dated Andre the Giant for 9 months. I was very, very close to him. I almost married Ivan Putski. That's a whole nother cup of coffee.
I know
Um,
me and you will have a discussion later about that.
okay, all right.
Well,
Well,
included.
pardon me.
Include me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we can all get together one night and just have a
Yeah,
bunch
one
of
night and just kibitz about everything. Yeah, but anyway, I love, like I said, I love wrestling, and once it's in your blood, it just doesn't go away. Like, I don't care what capacity that you have it. Once it's in your blood, it doesn't go away. Bruno Sammartino was part of my family. Dominic DeNucci. Oh my God, Dr. D. Dave Schultz. We even had Abdullah the Butcher and Bruiser Brody, who were very good friends of ours. Like I said, if I go on and on, I will take Miss Jennifer's time away, and I'm so sorry. So enough of me.
No, girl. Like I said, we didn't get to introduce you last week, so
Thank you.
I'm glad to have the honor to do it this week.
Oh, thank you. It's my honor. Thank you very much.
I'm glad you get to be a part of this show this week.
Me too. I'm very happy. I love anything that has to do with helping women progress. That's what I want.
We missed you last week, so.
I know. Thank you. I missed it too. I was just telling this. I got a lot on my plate right now, but I'm grateful to be able to be here tonight.
We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Jamie, welcome. Hey, girl.
Thank you. Hey.
So I will let you have the honor of introducing our guest officially, since you were the one that got her for us. So go ahead and take over whenever you're ready.
Hi, everybody. I want to welcome my friend for Justice as a special guest for our show.
Very cool.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Jennifer?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
A little bit about myself. Okay, so I started going to wrestling shows as a child. My grandfather would take me. My uncle was a referee. So I got started in Gibson, Tennessee with my uncle, like I said, was a ref.
Jennifer, I don't mean to cut you off. Like, I think I was working in Tennessee when you were working, because I worked with Daryl at MLW, and I could have sworn,
Yes.
Okay, yes, okay, you're the same Jennifer then. Good, go ahead.
I'm the same Jennifer Justice, yes.
Okay, I was Lily Mae at the time, but.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead.
I thought you looked familiar, but I wasn't for sure.
Yeah, it's just time, man.
I feel you.
But so go
But
ahead.
so yeah, I started out in Gibson, Tennessee, with MSWA. My cousin Killer Johns was the promoter, and I met a lot of people through him, and a lot of people just took me under their wing. Like I said, I started out there. I've been to, I think, 8 states now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 states now. I've wrestled in Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, Mississippi, Alabama, Illinois, Kansas. I think that's all. I think I've hit them all. I think we might have went to a show in Georgia, but I can't remember if it was Alabama or Georgia. But either way.
Hey, the South is the South. No, I'm just kidding. Don't ever say that.
Yeah.
From the South. So, like, you predominantly wrestle in Tennessee, but where do you see yourself going, like, in the next couple of years of wrestling?
I'm still sticking in the indies. I've done a little bit of EPW in Mississippi. So I kind of get my TV feel with that.
Yeah.
I did Memphis wrestling for a little bit. I do a few shows with Hostile Championship Wrestling. I've done Wild Card Wrestling, Inhumane Championship Wrestling, Non-Stop Wrestling. So they've been keeping me busy. But I've also branched out a little bit this year and went to Illinois, and I've even went to Springfield, Illinois, and did pinfall wrestling. They're wonderful group there. They're starting a women's division, so we're getting excited about that. So yeah.
Can I
When did you
can I
start
ask how
your
old? Oh,
training?
I'm sorry. Go
When did
ahead. I
you start
apologize.
training to be a wrestler?
When did I start training?
Yes.
I technically started training when I was 17. Um, and then once I graduated high school, I went full course into doing shows and training. I trained for a year and a half, almost 2 years before I actually started wrestling.
Oh wow.
Um,
Who was your trainer?
I started out at down in Gibson, Tennessee, with Killer Johns. Um, there were several of them there that I would get in there and work out with and stuff. I have a lot of mentors. I'll have a lot of people that has helped me move forward and make myself better. Um,
It's hard to
I
remember them
went through.
all, isn't it, Jennifer?
It is. It's really hard because I've had so many friends and people that I consider family that has helped me go along the way. Um, some of them are no longer with us, so it's kind of a little touchy on that.
Yeah, bittersweet.
But
Yeah.
yeah, Motley Crue is another one that was a big influence. Helping me out. Tasha Simone helped me out a
I
lot.
worked Tasha. I worked Tasha for the
Yes.
NWA Women's Championship, and she is old school, isn't she?
Oh yes,
Like,
definitely.
if you
I
don't know your
learned a
stuff,
lot from her. Even with just meeting people at the customs that we do when some of the others come in, I got a lot going for that.
right? I mean, that's how you network. Use the customs for networking, you know.
Yeah. So when I first started, I did Miss Jennifer in Gibson, and then there was a stint where I done a nurse gimmick where I was with a group called the Asylum, and that was with Psycho, Wraith, and then Pappy joined in, and then now there's so many members of the Jumpsuit Mafia. Um, but then I ended up being with a group called the Riot Squad, where it was Rick, Mark, and Paul Justice, and that's when my name changed to Jennifer Justice, and I became the head cheerleader
Uh
of
huh.
the Riot Squad.
So
And but
I get where
I
you're
mean,
going with this now. I like
don't
it.
get me wrong, I was not no cheerleader. I just rooted them on. But I had to fill in when one of them were out. So
Oh wow. Well, you were trained and you were ready to go then, so you could fill in.
so yeah. So when I
Did you
went with the
ever?
Riot Squad, they had a lot of feuds with different ones. Like they wrestled the Asylum, they wrestled uh, Pure Destruction, they wrestled all over with different tag teams. Like they were a big. Riot Squad was a big thing back in the Missouri, Arkansas,
Oh
Mississippi
yeah.
area back in early 2000s. So we had a lot of fun. We traveled a lot of roads. We got a lot of road trips. So
Lots of stories that'll never be
lots of
revealed.
stories.
Yeah. Did either of you ever work with Susan Green? Okay,
Not
she
me.
is
Susan,
from that area. That's why I'm asking.
that
She
name
is.
sounds familiar.
It
They
does.
they call
Like
her
I'm.
Tex, Susan Tex Green.
Okay, I know who
She
she
was in
is.
the WWF at one point,
Yeah.
but she is now, God bless her, she is now I think 72, and she's still training people. She goes
Wow.
That
from
sounds like
Georgia.
some Les Thatcher stuff.
I'm sorry.
That sounds like stuff Les Thatcher would do.
Yeah, it's crazy. God bless her. She is still has a school and everything. She still
That's
does it.
crazy.
Yeah. So you were telling me about where you were saying about where you were, so I thought I'd ask. She's been on my podcast a few times. She had stories about the problems that women had with Moolah. I'm sure you guys have heard that stuff in the past. Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
she was one of them. But okay, I'm sorry. I tend to
No,
drift,
You're
so
right.
forgive
Oh,
me.
you're fine.
we're here to talk, and that's what we're doing.
So, who
Speaking
would
Yeah.
of
you
that,
say was your biggest influence to become a wrestler?
Let's see. My biggest influence. I really liked Lita. Lita was one of the ones that I was. Now I couldn't do the stuff Lita does,
Not
but
many people can.
but I just liked her style and her persona. But I also like the old schools, the Fabulous Moolahs, the you know Joyce Grable,
Right.
Deanna Connolly.
all the I liked watching the old school women as well because I felt like WWE portrays the women as these supermodels and stuff, and not everybody's that way. So, and there's some women that can actually wrestle that might not be a size two.
But
Exactly.
now, I do think now more than ever, they have given people a bigger opportunity, not going so much for the supermodel or Barbie doll
Yeah.
look. I
I,
really do.
I I had to do my little pop in real quick.
Of course,
Um,
Professor.
Yeah, anytime, Professor.
the thing that I love today is women are getting a better understanding and being treated so much better. They can handle anything the men can do. And I am a big stickler on I hate when they portray women as just eye candy. You do not have to be half dressed. You don't have to be sexualized. You're in a sport. Forget the entertainment part. It's a sport and treat women equally. And I see it and I'm so more appreciative of that. Had to get that in. Y'all ladies, go
No,
right
thank
ahead.
you. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
chiming
Professor.
in. But
Yeah.
like,
Well, I
still
remember
coming.
years ago, just going back again, the time of Susan Green and Joyce Grable and all those, they actually wrestled like the men did. I mean, they
Yeah.
were whole hog. I mean, they went in and they could kill somebody if they had to.
Catch as catch.
Yeah, but the problem is back then they were treated like second class citizens. They were treated like that for a very, very long time. And now the women still get paid less than the men. Even now in WWE, they get paid less than the men. They're still kind of like eye candy, but it's so acrobatic. You hardly ever see a really good, tough match between the men or the women, really, but mostly the women. It's all about the acrobats. Everything's about the acrobats. And years ago, it wasn't like that. It was just hardcore kicking ass. Excuse my language, but that's what it was, you
Right.
know. But now it's not like that anymore. Even with the guys, it's like so much because now they rehearse. They rehearse so much. Years ago, again, there was no rehearsing. You didn't have the time for that. Like I said, there were no schools. You had to
You
learn
call it
in the
in the
ring.
ring, right,
Yeah,
Jennifer?
I
in
don't
the
know if you
ring.
ever want to see a good women's hardcore match. It's Britt Baker against Thunder Rosa.
That was a good match.
That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
insane.
But even now, when I was coming up, there were only about like I told y'all before about 6 or 7 girls in the area or in Texas, and you still had to travel to get to them. So
Hmm.
there's only so many times you can see the Sixers. I wrestled guys a lot, and I guess my question to Jennifer was it the same to you because you came up around my time.
Yes, it was the same for me. I grew up.
About
I got trained by the guys, and I got
2010,
trained to
2011,
work
right?
like the guys. So
Right.
that's how I grew up. Um, I do. I still have to wrestle some guys sometimes. I'm trying to get more away from that and just focus on female wrestling
Right.
because you know I'm
It's
not.
night and day. Wrestling a man that can actually carry you through an entire match, as opposed to wrestling somebody that you might not be able to cover up their mess up, or they might not be able to cover up yours, or whatever the case may be. It is a totally different monster wrestling women than men.
I believe that.
Yes, and I've had this conversation with a couple of friends of mine, and um, one of my traveling buddies is BB,
Yeah.
the Mississippi Queen BB. Me and her have traveled the road for 20 years,
Oh goodness.
and anywhere we go, they're like, "Oh, they're just one of the guys. They're one
Right.
of the guys." And I'm like, "Yes, but no." Like,
Right. It starts to get to a point where you're like, hold on, I'm not Green Girl anymore. Treat me like just with at least some respect,
yeah.
or
Well,
pretend to.
Well, me and BB kind of had this mutual thing that, a lot of the guys really didn't give us too much of a hard time. We had a lot of guys that actually protected us. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful in that because I have a lot of brothers in the business that
Would
would
murder for
hurt
you.
somebody
Yes,
over us.
yes.
Like, they're not going to let nobody mess with us.
And it's always good to have something like that because being a woman, you don't always know that you're going to be protected and not in necessarily the safest places in wrestling.
Right.
Yep, that's
Because
true.
I worked in some shady shows and I'm like, I don't know about all this, But I always learned not to travel to shows. Like, if I've never been there before, I don't go alone. Like,
Good,
it's
yeah.
either me and BB's gonna travel together, me and Destiny travel together,
Mm-hmm.
me, BB, and Destiny travel together because we went to Springfield not too long ago, so we had a really good time there. I've got good connections with a lot of the females because of customs. So if I see that they're gonna be at a show, if it's somebody that I know, then I'm more willing to go do those shows
Right.
than I would if it was way off and I really did. If I don't know anybody on the card, and if I don't, I want to make sure I've got somebody with me. So I always get somebody to go with me.
Right. That's
Well, I
always your
mean,
best bet.
you're very fortunate that you have that because a lot of girls didn't. I mean, but we'll move past that. I think we should move to watching your first match. What do you think?
Oh, cool.
What do you think,
Which one
Professor?
do you want us to play first? Yeah.
We're gonna
Uh,
do the one. Go ahead.
it doesn't matter. You can play whichever one. It's fine.
Okay.
She's all like, "I'm on the spot now, guys. Come on."
Yeah, I'm on the spot.
Professor, let it rip. Whichever one you want.
Is there a way to make it bigger?
I don't even see it.
I don't.
I don't see it either.
Sorry about that, guys. We're just having a little bit of a hiccup. You know, first show. Give us some grace.
It's okay. We have a lot of them.
Hey, it's technology. It's gonna mess up sometime.
It happens.
Ooh, hi, Mona. Well, I mean, in the
You're front
meantime,
and center.
Jennifer.
Now make the video that big would be good.
Front and
Yeah.
center.
Jennifer, who would you want to wrestle if you got the opportunity to?
If I ever got the opportunity, any like major stars or any star.
Anybody, dead, living, independent,
Um,
fine.
I would have liked to wrestled China.
Oh, I love China.
Yeah, that would have been so much fun.
That would have been. That would have been
Now,
cool.
when I first started, there was a lady that wrestled in Gibson. Her name was Dakota, and she was about the size of China. She was 6'2", 2'2". Yes, and
What's up, there, too?
I'm 5'4", and at that time I was like 100 pounds wrestling this big old girl. I had a blast doing it, but boy, did I get my butt kicked.
Gosh, I can imagine. But like,
Who's your
Go ahead.
Who's your favorite all-time favorite female wrestler?
My all-time favorite female would probably be Lita.
And why?
I just liked her style and her I don't give a shit attitude. Like, she came out, she did her thing. I just always liked the way she worked.
Well,
She had a lot of purpose.
Right. I mean, it was
Yeah.
the Attitude Era. It was,
Yeah.
you know, the anti-establishment time, and that's when all this stuff, like you saw stuff you had never seen on TV before.
Right.
You saw women doing moonsaults on men. I mean, it was a good time for women to start off, and then I think it kind of drifted from there. Like it never went any further than that shock value stage. If that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, I think China was so good. Going back to what you were saying, Jennifer, when she actually like won battle royals and stuff like that, like she was
Mhm.
beyond good. What happened to her and what was done to her was pathetic. It was a
Yep.
horrible, horrific thing. But if she would have just had a little bit more push and a little bit less BS, things would have been a lot better for her. She was unreal. She really was. She was an excellent, and it's a shame because she had so much potential and got criticized and ridiculed all the time, because she sounded weird. She looked like a man. She did this, she did that. And then with what Hunter and Stephanie did to her, that probably threw her over the edge.
Oh,
And
I'm
that was
sure.
pathetic. Yeah. But she was excellent. I loved her dearly. She was a very nice person.
She was intimidating just when she stood behind him with her arms crossed.
No joke.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for real.
she was great. She really was. It's so sad. It's a shame because it's a shame that things had to be that way. And it's funny because she's not even in the Hall of Fame by herself. And I watched the Hall of
Don't
Fame
say it.
this
Don't
year.
say it, Carmilla. I know where you're going. I know where you're going with this. The dates.
Yeah, yeah. And then to hear Stephanie say to Hunter, "You're the love of my life. We were meant to be together." No, you weren't. No, you guys. I am. Let me tell you something. I got to say this. I am a big advocate for the person who is in the relationship, the person who is married, whatever, is the one at fault. So many times women go after other women for having affairs with their husbands. But they live with the guy, they stay with the guy, but they go after the women. In this case, I would be the first one to blame Hunter and Stephanie over this whole thing. China did nothing wrong. She had nothing to do with any of that. And they just completely ripped her to shreds
I
and
mean,
they
she was.
completely tore her heart out.
Well, she was basically written out of everything at that point. And how do
Yeah,
you go from making somebody a beast and you're your number one woman to wrestling mid card women that couldn't wrestle their way out of a wet paper bag?
exactly.
I
Because they could
mean,
do whatever they wanted. Vince could do whatever he wanted. And he showed that very clearly. You know. And they put her on steroids. They did all this other stuff to her, and she thought she was going far. She thought she was going to be the next big thing, the eighth wonder, the ninth wonder, whatever she was. And they just shot her down completely. And after that, there was really nothing left for her to do. And that does it breaks my heart every time I think about it. She was an excellent, excellent person. She really was. So soft spoken, so kind, like you wouldn't believe it. And I just had to bring that up. I'm sorry. Jennifer, I didn't
you're
mean to take
totally
any of your
good.
time away. I apologize.
You are fine.
You are good. I told you we are here to talk.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So,
exactly. You're fine.
um, let's see. Let's see. We've gone through your training. We've gone through. Um, if you could be signed by one of the big companies, now here's the question: which one would you pick and why?
Oh, out of the ones now, I would probably pick AEW over the others.
I had a feeling you would say AEW.
I did too.
Yep. If I could, I would have picked them too. AEW is amazing. I love AEW. I
Well,
really do.
you don't really sign your life away necessarily with AEW, and I think some people feel like they're selling their souls if they go to the other
With
stick.
Right.
WWE, it's like 6 days a week, ain't it? Like,
It's a lot. I mean, but it's not like WWE. It's a
yeah,
lot.
WWE is like 6 days a week.
Every yeah, but everybody likes to compare AEW to WWE, but
It's not
why
the
would
same
you do
thing.
that?
It's not the same thing.
WWE's been around for close to 100 years now. Okay,
Right.
Yep.
AEW's been around for what, 8 years, maybe 7, 8 years, and I think they're doing great. They have incredible talent. They have a really good old school look about them, They try to keep their prices for the family, a family price. WWE, I heard that WrestleMania, one of the front row seats on the scalper went for $70,000.
Holy crap.
Yeah, like the front row seats, they said the first 10 were something like $125,000
Yeah,
for the first 10
yeah.
rows.
That,
That's
that's
crazy.
ridiculous.
And
And the
I'm
thing
telling you,
is they know people are so desperate. They
well,
want to see it
Vegas
so badly. They'll save, they'll borrow, they'll, whatever. And this economy is ridiculous.
and Vegas is so expensive already. I mean, like I told you guys, I did not go to WrestleMania. I was not paying those prices. I was not fighting people for parking. But I got to go see a lot of the indie talent that was around. And to me, that was more beneficial than going and watching a subpar WrestleMania.
Exactly. I
I heard
agree.
that. I have some friends and stuff that they went to a couple of WrestleManias, and they said that they would rather go to the other show, the indie shows that are going on in the area. That some of those shows and some of those matches were more entertaining than some of the matches that was on WrestleMania. But they
And no
just go just to
commercials.
say, that they went.
And no commercials.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I
There's
would just
so
want to
many
go watch a
commercials.
WWE show to see Danhausen in person to see some
I'm
funny.
That's
sorry, what was that,
crazy.
Jamie?
I just want to watch a WWE show in person just to watch Danhausen in person. He's funny.
I
He's
was, dude,
Yeah.
they
it
are a
is.
marketing genius with that man. Like whatever they're doing with Danhausen, they are making money off of it.
Oh yeah. Because it's directed at children. When you
Right.
have one kid, you have two parents. So it's three people right there.
My kids run around going, "You are cursed." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh my gosh! Like, stop talking back to me in wrestling talk and just go clean your room. Why am I cursed?"
Hello, humans.
At least they're not running around going, "You can't see me."
Oh,
Just say hello, humans, to him.
Sorry,
there's
I did.
enough of
Sorry, that was
that.
crude.
Enough of that.
That was crude of me. I'm sorry,
You can't see me.
Professor. Don't correct me for that.
No, no. I actually had a question. Jennifer, what would it mean for you to get ranked in the PWI top women's wrestler? Have you been ranked, and what would it mean for you to be ranked?
To my knowledge, I have not been ranked. But however, I stayed more to the south. I didn't do a whole lot of traveling back in my younger days. I think that if I would have done more traveling and put more effort into it, I probably could have been a lot further than what I did do. But I was happy with what I did. So, but I mean, if I was to ever get ranked, yeah, that would be awesome.
Of course, who wouldn't want to be notarized?
Yeah,
I do
exactly.
know, I do know a lot of people that have been in the PWI though. So.
So, with that being said, and you already answered it, but your career, you are so happy for what you accomplished in the business. What are you looking to do now in the business?
Now I've taken a few of newcomers up under my wing, trying to help them establish their self and get their self out there. Um, just teaching and showing that you don't have to do certain things to get booked. Like you can actually go out there and wrestle and show them that you know what you're doing, than going out there and having to show off your body to do it. I've always been old school. I've always done old school matches like me, BB, Destiny, like anywhere we go, like we get out there, we go toe to toe. Like I've had men say that I'm stiff. I've had women tell me that I'm a snug. I'm snug. I like to I want somebody to make contact with me so I can sell it,
That's it.
because
Like,
if I feel it, then I can sell it. If I don't feel it, then I don't know. If you're behind me and you do something to me, if you don't touch me, then I don't know what you're doing.
right,
So it's hard to sell it if you don't know what they're doing.
right.
So you
And
got
Well,
to touch me.
man, I can totally understand. Like when you're how tall are you? About 5'6"? right?
5'4".
I'm 5'4".
Oh, 5'4". Okay.
Yeah.
So you being one of the shorter ones, then you have to give that extra power when you're going to give a
Yes.
forearm or a punch. And sorry if it comes at you the wrong angle, you should have turned your face. But I would rather tell you I'm sorry and then go from there than have to us stand there looking stupid at each other.
Exactly. Exactly.
That
Now,
makes sense, of
what's
course.
one of your favorite wrestling memories, like while you're on the road?
Oh, we were just talking about this in a group chat that we have for ICW. We Inhumane Championship Wrestling. I've been with Crusher and Tammy for many, many years. We traveled the road together back when I first started. We went on a road trip to Kansas, and that was like a 12-hour trip just to get there. But it took us even longer. We had way too many people in the vehicle.
Oh
So
no.
me being one of the smallest ones, another lady was the smallest one. We had to sit in the floor, and well, back then, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Girl, I
I mean,
know.
now that I'm older, I'm thinking, man, that was stupid. I shouldn't have did that. But
Dude, that's why I
but we went
always
all the way
took my
there.
car. So I
Uh,
never got squished.
We all do
but I
such
was like,
things, and
man, some of the road trips are very, very entertaining.
Oh, they were my favorites. The road trips were my favorite. I used to travel with the wrestlers all the time. So I would work, and then on Friday, right after work, I'd go down to meet them either in Allentown, New Jersey, or not New Jersey, Allentown, Pennsylvania, Hamburg, or, Philadelphia, wherever. And we'd hop in the car, we'd go for the whole weekend, and then I'd come home at like 5 in the morning on Monday, shower, and go right to work. But I could do it back then. It was so
Yeah.
much fun, and I didn't even care that I didn't sleep. It was
No,
so
no.
much fun. It was great. But now, of course, so now I don't sleep for different reasons. Before I didn't sleep because I was having fun. But I wouldn't give it up for anything in the world. The stories that I have, the events that I've been to, the things that I've experienced, the people that I got to know, I wouldn't give it up for anything. And we were saying in the beginning of the show how when wrestling is in you, it's in you forever. And Jennifer, I'm sure you agree with that. It's in your blood. It's like, could you ever see yourself stopping?
I've thought about it. Like, I've taken breaks because I've been like, you know what? I'm starting to get on up there. But then it pulls me back in because I see so much potential in somebody else, and then them not getting the guidance and stuff that they need to
Mm-hmm.
progress and do like they want to or what they need to. And so I'm like, hey, let me go check this show out and see if I can help this one out or that one
Mm-hmm.
out. Or so that's usually what I'm doing now. I'm staying pretty busy. My weekends have been very busy this year alone. Um, I took on a lot more bookings than I intentionally planned. I was planning on kind of tapering off and being see take some time off and see how things go. I'm just playing it by ear. I'm having fun with it. So we'll just see how it goes.
Is there any states or countries you would like to wrestle in?
Oh, I don't think I want to go overseas,
Especially now?
but
Yeah.
but no, not really. I haven't really thought about it. I'm scared to go up north because I'm a southern girl. Like, I don't want to travel too far away from home.
Girl,
Okay.
I think you would take it by storm if you had a chance today.
who's your least favorite women wrestler and why?
Ooh, you want to get juicy with it now, huh, Jamie?
Ooh,
We asked the favorite.
my least favorite that is currently wrestling right now would probably be Jade Cargill.
I agree with you. I think she looks amazing, but I don't think she wrestles
She
very well.
she looks phenomenal. Like, she's got the look. If they could get her toned in on the basics and
Psychology.
Yeah.
the psychology of wrestling, she could be something.
Yeah, because she's
But
really great. She's gorgeous. Her whole persona is cool, but yeah, she don't wrestle
Yeah,
very well.
I still think she was better in the AEW. I think the WWE has her too stiff now.
yeah, I think so
And
too.
yeah, and it's funny because in the WWE, no matter where you come from, you still have to go to the performance center and learn how to wrestle WWE style. Like they
Right.
did that with the new Samoan, the real tall 8 foot guy or 7 foot guy. I remember him as Hikaleu, so his Tonga Loom something, I don't know.
Oh
But
yeah.
anyway, yeah, when he was just coming in, they brought him in a year and a half earlier than they wanted him to wrestle because they wanted him to learn WWE style, and he hasn't done anything. When he was in Japan, he was so good under the name of Hikaleu. But now, like, he doesn't do anything. He just stands around being a tall guy, you know? And I think that's ridiculous. Although he's getting paid good money for it, I guess. But I would want to do stuff. I would want to be more involved and not just get paid for my appearance.
Right.
I think out of the newer generation of the females, I really dig Asuka.
Yeah.
Like Asuka, if you research her and go back and find her from Japan and what all she went through to get where she's at, that woman went through a lot.
Yeah,
And I love her whole outfits and her face paint and all that.
yeah. Asuka's good. She is. She's very good.
Well,
And
she's so outlandish, and she's just. I don't know. It's just to say Asuka is kind of cliche to say, but there's nobody else like her on the roster right now, in my opinion.
no, I agree with you. She's very good, and most Japan wrestlers are incredible. I've even heard Will Ospreay say on interviews that he made himself, but he made himself in Japan. When he was in New Japan, like that's where he became Will Ospreay. Like coming here, he's an extension of that, but that's not what made him. Japan has done a lot for a lot of people. A lot of people started in Japan. A lot of people perform so much better in Japan, and then they come here, and a lot of times they get squashed, and I don't get that. I really don't. But it is what it is.
When I was working, it was the thing like if you got invited to Japan, everybody always asked you when you came back, how was it, and those people always seem their careers always seem to take off a little bit faster than the rest of us. Is that the
Yeah.
same thing you experienced, Jennifer?
Yeah. Speaking of that, like Billy Starks and let's see, there's so many of the young talented girls that
Oh,
have
Jordan
went.
Grace.
They're in AEW or TNA or whatever. A lot of them went to Japan and learned. Uh, Jada Stone is a newer one that's
Right.
making her rise coming up, and she took a tour. She took several tours, I think, to Japan. So
And everybody that went, like, said they learned so much, and they're so grateful for the education, the wrestling education they got. Um, if you were afforded the opportunity to go to Japan, would you?
if I was younger and had the chance to go, I probably would.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
When you say younger, do you mind if I ask you how old you are now?
I was just gonna say,
I am not ashamed. I am 44. I'll be 45 in November.
You're a baby.
right?
You're a child still. Okay. I
Yeah, but
mean,
in the wrestling world, not so much when you've been in it for
No,
25
no,
years.
right.
have you really been in it 25 years? God bless you. That's great.
You start turning 35, 40 in wrestling, and you're a dinosaur, and you should retire and give it up, and that's when you get
You try
talked
to
about the
compete with these
most.
younger ones now. It's hard. It's hard.
Ooh, they're fast, right?
Yeah.
A-
Yeah.
Yes.
I get it. I get it.
Well,
I do. But I think there's still some people that are in it today. Like I said, like Susan Green. She's
yeah.
still training. She's still going. People like Trish Stratus. People like Lita. They're a little bit older and they're still hitting it out in the park. They really are. They're doing good.
Hi,
I, I,
Professor.
I popped in for two things. One, hey, Tony Atlas just won a title, and Tony is 72, and
73
he
years
won.
old. Yep.
And he just won the title. So there's no such thing as old. And
Nope.
two, Jennifer, have you thought about maybe just becoming a manager and making getting these girls all the knowledge and taking them to the top? Because a couple of things. One, managers is almost a lost art form.
It is a
And
lost
Right.
art
two,
form. Not it almost. It is the lost art
well,
form.
there's still a few out there that actually still does what a great manager do. They just
Paul
don't
Heyman
get
is
the
validated.
coverage or or the feed that they deserve. And two, when was the last great women's manager? There you go. You have a niche. You don't have to go anywhere, and you can train these babies and make them superstars. So just that's something to think about.
That is definitely something to think about because, like I said, you when you go to shows and you see, I went to shows just to watch the talent, just to see, what they got, guys and girls, and I'll be like, they've got it. If they could get that ego in check, they got it. Or then there's some like, they got the heart, but they really just they need that fine tuning. So I mean, it's a possibility.
All
Yeah,
right,
there have been
Professor
a few
Baba.
good managers in the past. I remember Miss Elizabeth and Scary Sherry.
Yes, of course. Like, but I do think now, and Jennifer, correct me if I'm wrong. When you see girls start to break in as managers, you start to see them be pulled the wrong way. Is there ever a time where you've stepped in
Yeah,
and they'll start to
I,
speak up?
I try to. They don't always listen, but
Fair
I
enough.
mean, you try.
Right?
You be like,
That's all you can do.
yeah,
Yeah.
you try. There's a few managers that we have in our area at Nonstop. We've got Lindsay Wild. She manages Danny Ice and Drago, or she used to. Um, and then we have, of course, um, Briar Rose is another one that's at Nonstop. But Lindsay's starting to get to where she's wanting to try to wrestle a little more. Learn. She's trying to learn. She's another one I've been working with. She really likes it when I get in there and work out with her and stuff like that to try to teach her some things. Because learning from a guy and learning from a girl is really different.
Yeah.
And when I was training, it was all guys. Now they had a few girls that came in for us to wrestle, but as far
But
as
they
the
never brought
training,
them in to train you. Yeah.
yeah, there wasn't very many there at training. Like we'd have to get there before the shows, help tear down and everything. Like it was a lot of work back then. And
Girl, I
then
bet
once I hit the
you
road,
had to put up rings and take down rings by yourself too.
yes, there was a lot of times that they were like, "Hey, we need help with the ring. Come on." And
Let's
I
go.
mean, I to this day I still do it. Um, a lot of people's like, "You paid your dues. Why are you helping with that? Why are you doing this?" And I was like, "Because that's what you do. It's the respect of the business. You
Right.
help out where you can.
I,
I don't do it all the time. But if I see that they're struggling and they need help, and it's gonna get us out quicker, yeah, I'm gonna go. Let's
That's your
go. Let's get this.
hindsight. Yeah.
I go to the shows and I help set up, tear down the ring too.
It's not always the funnest thing, but sometimes you learn the most about people while you're setting up and taking down.
Exactly.
That's when you're building those relationships with people.
Yeah, and you gotta
And
love the new talent that thinks that they can just walk in at like right before the show starts and they feel entitled that they don't need the help. Like I feel like everybody should pay their dues.
Oh yeah.
everybody should pay their
Exactly.
Absolutely.
dues. But
This younger generation has a lot to learn.
they do absolutely. Like I felt like I'm still paying dues even though I'm not working anymore. And I'm sure at times you feel like you are as well, Jennifer.
Oh,
Yep.
definitely. Oh, there's a lot of times that I'm like, why am I doing this? And they sitting over there. I'm
Right?
like, come on.
Come
You're
on, come
you're
on.
you're half
You
my
guys are
age. Get
younger.
over
You should be
here.
helping out.
When you were being trained, Jennifer, this might be stupid, but it's important. Were you ever taught to wipe your feet before you entered the ropes?
I love you,
Yes.
Carmela. I
Yes.
love you for that.
I
That's
cannot
such a
stand
respect.
going to a show and
I
they don't wipe their feet.
I cannot stand it. And you know what the problem is that especially today, they're not taught what the reason is.
It's so you don't bring dirt on the mat.
And it's
The
respect.
mat is to be respected. Exactly. The mat is to be respected, and your dirty feet, your dirty shoes do not belong in that respected
No.
area.
I,
Exactly.
I
Even
have to
referees.
say,
Exactly.
I have to
Yeah.
say, my wife, who is not a wrestling fan, it pisses her off to no end when people get into a ring and don't wipe their feet off.
Oh my
I don't
God.
care if we're at a local show, if we're watching wrestling on TV. She all, baby, you see that? Oh,
Well,
oh.
not
I'm
I
like,
do
not
it
man.
too. I
not
do it
all.
too.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry, Megan. No, no. Go ahead.
Not all shows have the time allotted to stop and sweep in between each match, or do they have a broom, quite frankly? So,
Exactly.
like, wipe. That's how I was trained. Wipe your feet off because you don't want to be rolling around in something that somebody else has had on their feet.
Exactly.
And just a show of respect for
Right.
everyone that came before you in this business. You show them that level of respect. I, and as a person who's never been in the ring wrestling, and
There.
no
There.
matter what I do, I go and show respect to everyone. I
Always.
I get a chance to. I've been able to go back into locker rooms. I refuse because I tell people that's not my place. If we can talk after you come out of there, I'll wait on you, but I will respect the business by not just going back there. I think that's a sign of respect.
It is. And you know, the funny thing when it comes to the ring is that you have to understand that material that that ring is made of has been through everybody's part of everybody's heart and soul. Besides the dirt, everybody's heart and soul is in that material, in that ring. All the years of the heartache and the torture and the episodes and the struggle, it's all in that material. I don't care what anybody says. There's nobody in the world that's got a brand new mat every time. I don't care who you are. All right.
And even if you could, it's still the fact of respect.
It's respect that ring. You know, just like they say, you have to respect the ocean because we don't know anything about it. But when you go into that ring, you have to respect that ring. That ring is where lives have been lost. That ring is where episodes have happened. That ring is where future of the world has happened. That ring is the epitome of what professional wrestling is. And it just
Absolutely.
grates my nerves to no end when somebody just climbs in, man or woman. They should all know by now. Wipe your feet.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I was at a show recently where one of the 40-year wrestling veterans, I heard him say afterwards that he watched the entire show and he said out of that entire show, only one person wiped their feet. He says that person was trained properly.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a
And
shame.
well, you don't ever know who's gonna come to a show and watch you. Let's be honest. You don't ever know who's from where, really. So if
Exactly.
you go and just make a small little disrespect like that, they're never, not even gonna watch a match.
No. And I'm thinking that they're not really being taught this either. Like, you know, as years go by and generations go by, stuff gets lost in the process, you know? And like let's say like, you know, I learned this and whoever I teach, I would teach it to them, but then again, you know, you come somebody comes along and say, "Oh, she's old. What does she know?" You know, you don't have to wipe your feet. And then that gets put into their head, and then that changes, and then something else changes. And nothing stays the same anymore like it used to years ago, and that bothers me. It does. It's very disrespectful.
The I got in the ring when I was first training. I want to say one or two times without wiping my feet off. And like you said, Jennifer, we train with men. One of the guys slapped the dog shit out of me and told me, "You're going to learn to wipe your feet before you get in my ring." And like I said, it was my first or second couple of weeks in there, and I didn't understand. And you
Yeah,
don't until you're in there, and you've bled in there, and you've hurt yourself just trying to perform.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. People don't understand the respect in the business today. It's
they
so
don't have
much.
any respect anymore. That's the problem too. You know, this younger generation is just like, give me the money. I just want money. I want to make money, and I want to be on television, and I want all the girls, you know, or all the
Oh,
guys, or whatever.
They are no better than what we went through getting paid with hot dogs and hamburgers, working in
Amen.
shows, having to change in your car because they
Oh,
had no choice.
absolutely. Absolutely. We used to go to wrestling years ago when I was a kid at a building called the Philadelphia Arena, and now, of course, it's been torn down. But and the wrestlers, we had roller derby there and wrestling. Okay, which,
Oh wow.
please, I mean, that's a whole nother cup of coffee. But and like we would go in and we wanted those hot dogs no matter what. It didn't matter. And like even when you're wrestling, you're traveling with the wrestlers, and
Hmm.
you just looked at that particular arena. There was a hot dog burning, and there was a dead rat next to it, but they still ate the hot dog.
They sure
Because
did.
they had to. Like I'm a hairdresser as well, and I used to cut all their hair. So when I was there, I would either go out back or in the back, like where the dressing room is, and blah blah blah. I'd cut their hair and do that. I used to like dye Sting's hair when he came to Philadelphia, and all that kind of stuff. And it was so cool. And again, but there's a level of respect that they have. Like I never one time. I mean, you know what a ring rat is. I'm sure everybody knows
Yes,
that.
everyone knows
I
what it
have
is.
never one time in my life have I ever been called a ring rat. Have I ever acted like one ever? I never bought stuff for the wrestlers. I never did favors for them. Nothing. Matter of fact, Dominic DeNucci, who was like a father to me, he said to me one time in the Hamburg Arena, he used to call me kid. He'd say, "Hey kid, go get me a cup of coffee." And I said to him, "No." I said, "First of all, if I go get you a cup of coffee, not only are you paying for your own coffee, you're paying for mine too." I said, "Because I don't do that." So he did, and I did, and I got it. And I told him, he goes, "You're a pain in the ass." I said, "Yeah, well, I am." I said, "Guess what? I'm not those girls, okay? I was raised different.
Exactly.
I do things differently. And thank God I never, ever fell into that category. And there's wrestlers that are alive today that were alive back then will tell you, especially Davey O'Hannon, he'll be the first one to say that I was one of the only women who was never a ring rat. And he's a saint. He's a good friend of mine. But like those things mean something. They really do. They mean a lot. And it's important.
Well, and just if you ever do get that reputation, if you will, it's hard to come back from that. Like people don't want to book
Hmm.
you just off rip because
Yeah.
the only thing they know about you is that you're there for the male talent. Not
hmm And isn't that funny? No matter
it's
what the
not.
men did,
No.
I know Ric Flair used to walk around in a fur coat with nothing on underneath it. He'd walk around constantly, open it up, naked, but nothing ever happened to him. If that was a girl, she would be blackballed to the end of the earth. But nothing ever happened to the guys ever. That blackballed them. They loved that. They loved it, and that was terrible. But that's
Because
what I'm
they
saying. They took such advantage of the women. They did back then.
you cannot be a naive woman in being wrestling. You
No,
cannot.
Oh
even
no.
today, even today, because Becky Lynch even said recently when she first started about 10 years ago, there was a man in the WWE who would blackball you whether you slept with him, and he would blackball you if you didn't sleep with him. So either way, you were screwed. And it's ridiculous that it was still happening even
It's
that
still happening, even
recent.
though the speak out movement is happening. Let's be real, it still happens. It's still going to happen because you still have those people that aren't filtered out where they
Exactly.
should be. Like, I, no, I don't think you should be running background checks on everybody that comes in to your promotion, but at least, like, do a little bit of research, you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Exactly.
Well, that, and then if somebody comes to you about something and be like, "Hey, you might want to check this person," then check that person because
Right.
there's probably a reason why they're telling you to check that person.
And
Exactly.
we have all gotten that creepy feeling from that one promoter. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh
That
yeah.
and and their name is drugged through the mud, but you were like, no, I just want to wrestle this weekend, so I'll go wrestle. And then you
Yeah.
get, I'm just, hey, professor.
I was gonna say, y'all do remember I'm on the show. You don't have to talk about me like that.
Oh gosh, no, sir, never. I was
Now,
ready to
Just
now.
fight.
kidding.
I
Just
was ready
kidding.
to,
Just kidding.
Professor. I was ready to fight for you a couple days ago. Okay,
Yes,
I
you
don't
I
want to
were.
know
hear it.
Yes,
I was
you were.
ready to be your tag team partner, man.
Dude, I was gonna tear her a new. Anyway,
And I would
so
have been
let's.
there taking pictures of it all.
There are two new ones.
What's up,
There's all
Professor?
kinds, right? It takes all kinds to make the world go round.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Hey, listen, ladies, I hate to do this, but I have got to exit.
Oh,
When
no
you get to be
problem.
my age, if you don't go to bed early, you don't get up as early as I need to. So it was wonderful being on your show. I can't wait to come back. Jennifer, it was wonderful talking to you and meeting you. Girls, God bless you. I love you. I can't wait to see you again, but
Bye,
I need to get some
Carmilla.
sleep. All right, take care.
Good night.
Thank
I
you.
love you
Bye.
too.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye bye. Take care.
So, Professor, were we ever able to get at least one of our matches up?
Unfortunately, no. It's going to be one of those things I'm going to have to work on to perfect. But with that being said, Jennifer, that gives an excuse to have you back so we
It
can
does.
go through
Yes.
your
So we
matches.
can go through some of them. Yeah, one of the videos that I sent, it was a highlight reel that one of the guys from Nonstop does. He does fabulous work on uh, videography and stuff like that. He's the one that put that video together for me. His name is Travis Shelton. So shout out to Travis if you're watching.
Good job,
Everybody's been
Travis.
sharing my stuff today, so it's been awesome. I was like, oh my god, it's popping up everywhere! Yay! Um,
It should be.
but Travis Shelton, he's awesome. He put that together for me because I was doing a show in Illinois for pinfall, and they asked the girls to get together a little collage of stuff that they've done or whatever because they wanted to do a bigger collage of all the girls that were coming in. So they wanted a little bit of video from everybody. So he sent that to me and I sent it to the promoter and the promoter was like, this is spot on. I really appreciate this. Thank you. So Travis did an awesome job on doing that. It's a highlight. He even went way back, like way back. I was like, "Woo, you did some research," because I was just
Can you?
expecting some most recent stuff, but he went back.
Where can you find some more Travis's work? Let's promote him a little bit.
Travis
Uh,
is awesome at what he does. He's awesome.
yeah. He works for Nonstop Wrestling, but so anything, if you see anything Nonstop Wrestling, videos, the promos, um, the flyers that comes online. Um, he does a lot of video stuff for that. Um,
Awesome.
so
We,
yeah,
you gave me a good idea. I'll have to get Travis on one of these one time.
yes, he would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're
Travis would be
right at
awesome.
an hour. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you guys off, but I think we are at our time. Um, Jamie, Mona, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us. Tracy, I will let you sign us out this evening.
Okay, so I'm just gonna announce that our next show will be on June 15th at 7:30, and we will be having the original Glow Girl Hollywood on, which is really exciting. I was a big fan of the Glow Wrestling back in, I think it was 88 to early 90s ish.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we will be having her next week, or 2 weeks.
You heard that, guys. 2 weeks from tonight, the 15th, 7:30. That's Central Standard Time.
Yeah, 7:30 Eastern.
7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Standard. Join us as we do Ladies Watch Along with Glow's Hollywood. Y'all have a great evening, ladies.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank y'all for
Thanks
having
for
me.
joining us,
It was our
Jennifer.
pleasure.
For being here.
Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank y'all for having me.
You're welcome.
Come back.